I hope you have some good Latin music.
I don't.
Is my background the right way, guys?
It is.
Yes.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. See, my computer acts really, the reason why I don't, because my computer is hobbling this week.
Okay.
Can you imagine how awful that is? I usually do, just so you know.
Yes.
Hey everyone, why don't you let us know where you're dialing in from, where you're zooming in from? We'd love to hear in the chat. Just pull the drop down menu and hit everyone and let us know where you're zooming, where you're joining us from today. Today is Fierce Female Friday, Woman Up Friday. Welcome everyone. I am Sarah Sudachan, Senior Vice President of Strategy and Engagement for the California Association of Realtors, and also a proud co-founder of WomanUP. And so I'm very happy to see you all here today. Thank you, everyone. I'm excited for this conversation. And so I will try to keep my remarks short so that you can hear from all of these amazing Latinas that we have on the panel today. We at CAR are in full swing, getting ready for our first Reimagine conference in person since 2019. So we've had Reimagine, don't get me wrong. We've done it in Zoom land and virtual, and we are so excited to be back in person. We'll drop the links in the chat for you all. If you're in the Southern California area and you are a CAR member, it is free for you to attend Reimagine. It's next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I believe it's 11, 12, and 13. We are going to Long Beach along with thousands of other realtor colleagues. WomanUP will be in the lineup. We have WomanUP Wednesday at Reimagine, where we will bring in harmonic leadership, how to prioritize self-care in every season, as well as building your influence by serving your community. And so many of our amazing WomanUP leaders will be on that stage. We're excited about that. And in addition, our party, who was at our first ever All Voices soiree?
Me.
I know, all of you. Yes, you all were there. Claudia, you were there too, because we were in this amazing photo that represents the amazing diversity that is WomanUP. And so we are bringing that back to in person. We're going to have a party on Wednesday night from 5 to 8. And again, as long as you register for Reimagine, that is free. I hope to see you there. It brings together WomanUP, but also our LPN and our multicultural organizations that are huge partners, including Women's Council. And so with that, what a great segue into our moderator today, who is past Women's Council California President, Rosanna Garcia. And can I just read a little bit of your bio, Rosanna? You're going to be okay with that?
Sure.
It's important to know.
I try to make it short.
It's amazing. So this woman has so many accolades, and she's been involved with real estate since she was a baby. Literally, her mom, Eva Garcia, would take her to meetings and conferences, and really showed her the life of being a realtor, being a volunteer, a servant-hearted leader. And so she purchased, Rosanna, I didn't know this, you purchased your first investment property before you even graduated college. Yes, it can be done. Yes, you did. And kudos to your mom for teaching you the way. You did join your family business, Garcia Realty, in 2003 and never looked back. You did a stint outside of the real estate industry. I know that. But you have been in real estate since 2003, helping clients achieve the American dream of homeownership. I am going to, you were president of Women's Council Sacramento. You were Realtor of the Year and Entrepreneur of the Year for that network. So congrats on that. She has also served in her local association as a director for at least 7 years, maybe longer. And she has been named Realtor of the Year from the Sacramento Association of Realtors. Yes, she is an outstanding life member, local Masters Club member, and 2021 immediate past president of Women's Council California. So with that, did I miss anything? Golden Hour President Circle member, committee member at NAR. Amazing resume. Rosanna, welcome. And
Thank you.
I will kick it off to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone, for being here on the Zoom today. And we are very, very excited and very proud to be representing our Hispanic Heritage Month. And I am very excited for you to hear from all these wonderful women. And thank you, WomanUP, and thank you, CAR, for featuring us today as we pay our respects to these women and for the things that they're doing in the industry to advance and to represent Latinas in our industry. So thank you all for being here today. And so we thought that we should give you, before we get into our conversation, a little history behind National Hispanic Heritage Month. So each year, Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th by celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson. And just a side note, that's when my mom joined Women's Council. And it was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15th and ending on October 15th. It was enacted into law on August 17th, 1988. The day of September 15th is significant because it is the anniversary of the independence for Latin American countries, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrate their independence days on September 16th and September 18th, respectively. Also, Columbus Day or Dia de la Raza, which is October 12th, falls within this 30-day period. So that's a little background on how we came about to having the Hispanic Heritage Month. And we'll also provide a link so you can get more information on that. So thank you, Sarah, for a lovely introduction. I appreciate you and I appreciate your time and getting us all together here. So now we're going to hear from our panelists today, and I will have each one of them introduce themselves and give you a little background on themselves. So we're going to start with Luisa Cepeda.
Thank you, Rosanna. Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here today. I want to thank WomanUP for putting this together. And I'm excited to be here and speaking with you all, with these amazing ladies who have also become my sisters, sisters in the real estate arena. My name's Luisa Cepeda. I've been in the business in real estate for about 20 years, and it's been a great journey. I've been able to learn a lot of things because I originally began new home sales, and I've been recently on the path of entrepreneurship for about 4 or 5 years now. And just a couple of weeks ago in September, I finally took the plunge and took my broker exam and passed it. So I'm really celebrating this month like you wouldn't believe. And Monday's my birthday. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys for now.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank
That's
you so
amazing. Yeah, good for you. We're all very proud of you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing that. Happy birthday early.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah. So Claudia Diaz.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you, CAR Woman Up. It's amazing just to be here and represent our Hispanic Heritage Month. My name is Claudia Diaz, born and raised in California, South Bay, California. I have been in real estate, started investing since 1998 through the guidance of my mother, my professors. As my parents were, short story, my parents, I'm a daughter of immigrants, and I did see the way my parents were able to accomplish their American dream, how we say, is buying a home. So to me, they pretty much guided me, and I always said, I want to do the same for others. So I started at a really young age. I got my license in 2000. And I started helping first-time buyers. I started helping people that didn't understand the language. And I knew I could have been a voice and an asset to them. So I think at the end of the day, it's what we can do to help others. And pretty much that's how I started. I took a break maybe 10 years ago, and it was a long break because I had my children. And at that time, my husband and I continued to manage our properties and continue to help others along the way. And now I'm back. It's been maybe 6 years. So it's back to helping and enjoying our leadership journey and guiding others along our way. And so we're here to share the light with you. At the current time, I am celebrating my dual citizenship, which is 1 year this month. So it's double honor and celebration for myself. I currently also help I do global investments, currently doing it myself and guiding other people that are investing globally. So it's been a beautiful journey, and I thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, Claudia. I think that that's going to be a common thread that the audience is going to see with our panelists, and I know with myself in helping our community. It's very important that we are representing and that we are making sure that we take care of our clients and every step of the way. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, let's hear from Vilma Latosky.
Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone. It is a privilege to be here with you all and share this forum to share our experiences. My name is Vilma Latosky. I'm a broker owner of Bella Vista Estates in Canoga Park. I'm originally from El Salvador. I came here at the age of 18. So I believe that I am the barrier breaker for my family because I was brave enough to take a leap of faith, leave my country, come here, not knowing anyone, just with the desire to go to school and to enhance my education. So I came to Washington, D.C., and I went to school for English for a couple of years. Then I wanted to be a hotel manager, go back to my country and be the best manager of the best hotels over there. It didn't happen. So I studied hotel administration, and I worked in that industry for about 10 years. Then later on, I moved to California in 1983, and I got married. I was looking for a profession, a career that was going to allow me to be a wife, a mother, and a professional. And so that's what real estate came in mind. And I started going to school, got my license in 1991, and I have been working ever since. So 32 years later, I'm still in the business. And it's a business that I love so much. I don't know what else I'll be doing, because my first goal was to help first-time home buyers, our community. That is the underserved community, the Latin, the Hispanic community. So I remember seeing my gardener that, he was working so hard, and I said, I gotta help this person to buy a house. Years later, he owns 3 properties, and he's doing very well. And that was my goal. That was my, when I give the keys to one of these people that are underserved, that they didn't know they could be homeowners, that is my fulfillment. And to be 32 years in the business, helping pretty much, I do have some investors, but pretty much my clients are first-time homeowners. So it is a privilege to be here with you all and to share this panel with you. And thank you, WomanUP, Sarah, Brenda, CAR, for putting this panel together. Thank you.
Thank you, Vilma. Yeah, I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about our stories. That's one of the next questions. And so we look forward to hearing more on that. And so now we're going to hear from Felicia Modis.
Hi, everyone. I am also honored to be here today, and I'm especially excited to learn from the other ladies on this panel about their journey and their history. That's one of the beautiful things about Latinx culture, is just all of the differences. So I am Felicia Modis. I'm a realtor with a boutique brokerage in the Bay Area. I specifically target Oakland and Berkeley, work mostly with first-time home buyers, but I pretty much do it all. I'm not as experienced as a lot of the women on the call. I have been licensed for 5 years, and I have been honored to be named one of the top realtors in the country under the age of 30 in 2019 with NAR's 30 under 30. And I have served on NAR, CAR, local. I am currently my president-elect for my local association. So I will be I believe the first Latina president for my association, and I will definitely be the youngest. I am 32 years old, so I'm excited to hold those titles and to get a little bit of diversity in our local leadership here with the Bridge Association of Realtors. So I'm really looking forward to serving over the next year and continuing this leadership journey.
Yeah, very, very, very awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for stepping up into leadership, because it's important that we have a seat at the table. We'll talk more about that later. So we're going to get into the conversation. So some of you have shared a little bit about your origin, your story. So we're going to ask you to share your journey into becoming the leader that you are today. So, that can, of course, that's going to include your upbringing, your background, all of that. And it's always so interesting for everyone to hear about that. So while we have Felicia here on the screen, why don't we start with you?
Sure. So I was fortunate enough to be born and raised in the Bay Area. I've been here my entire life. My mom grew up in San Diego. Her mother moved here from Mexico. She had 7 children in Mexico, moved to San Diego without her children, and had another 7. So my mom is one of 14. So I have a big Mexican family. And so unfortunately, she kind of had a rough upbringing, and maybe some of you guys can relate, being, an immigrant in this country and how difficult that is, maybe not speaking the language. So as a child, my mom struggled a lot. They didn't have much, and she kind of had to pave her own way. And so her and all of her siblings ended up making us very Americanized, right? So unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish, and neither do any of my cousins. So that has been a lifelong goal of mine, is to learn Spanish. I'm struggling with it. So if anybody has any tips, let me know. But it does mean that I get to refer a lot of business to Spanish speaking people, right? Since I can't help them myself. But yeah, so I grew up here in the Bay Area. I have a big family, and what really got me started in real estate was seeing my own mom kind of pave her way after she was able to divorce from my father and get some of her own independence. She was able to save up enough to buy her first home. And she had a really horrible experience with all of the realtors that she worked with, unfortunately. I saw her struggle through it. She went through multiple different people, just really had a hard time. And I remember at that young age, I believe I was around 18 when she was looking for her first home. I started thinking like, wow, this is interesting. Nobody in my family owns property. My mom has finally saved up enough money to buy her own place and is struggling to do so. And I'm seeing her really struggle through that. And I realized that I could be that person to help guide her through that. I could guide other people through that process. So years later, I ended up getting my real estate license after being a nanny for 5 years. I did that and loved that job. Shout out to all the mamas watching, because wow, amazing. So that's really what kick-started my interest in real estate. And my father had always wanted to get into real estate, but couldn't jump into a commission-based industry because that's really scary, right? And he had the 3 of us to take care of me and my two sisters. So I ended up accomplishing that goal on behalf of my late father. And I'm really proud of everything that I've done so far. And I'm looking forward to kind of stepping into that. You know, I just recently bought my first investment property. And so it's kind of taking off from there. And I'm seeing the power of real estate. And I'm thinking about, you know, hopefully one day becoming a parent myself and thinking about the differences that they will have because of the opportunities that I've provided with real estate, and I'll be able to teach them how to invest and all of that. So it's interesting to see, like, over the generations, how much everything has changed.
So Felicia, who tapped you on the shoulder for leadership?
My broker is Cameron Platt, and he has done a lot with CAR. And when he first started, you know, mentoring me, he told me, like, you're going to get involved with YPN, the Young Professionals Network. You're going to be the president of your local association. You're going to start coming with me to conferences at CAR and NAR. And I was just saying yes to everything because I didn't know what anything meant. And if he was telling me, I saw that he was successful, and if he could do it, I could do it. So I was just following along. And then you guys know how it is. Eventually it just ends up snowballing and you end up volunteering for a bunch of stuff. And it's really been one of the most fulfilling parts of being in this industry.
That's awesome. Yep, that happens. It snowballs. Be careful, it snowballs fast. Thanks for sharing. Let's go to Vilma. Share some of your, you shared a little bit of your origin, but how about you, how you got, I mean, wow, you come and then you open your own brokerage. I mean, that's a leader in itself. And then I know you're part of CAR also. So share how you got involved.
Back in 2009, I was, my kids were older already, so I had the free time to get involved in the organized real estate. And the local chapter of NAREP was close by my office. So I started going to those meetings and looking at all the leadership they had. So that interested me, and I had the free time to do that. So I got involved with NAREP in 2009 in the San Fernando chapter. And later in 2015, I became the president of the chapter. And then from then on, after 2016, I got involved more with CAR. I was involved with CAR at a low level, not, you know, some meetings here and there. But in 2016, I got really involved with my local chapter, the San Fernando, you know, the SRAR. So, and then I got involved through NAREP. I got involved with NAR. So the first committee I served in NAR was a diversity committee. And I started traveling. I was traveling to DC, which is I call it my second home, because that's when I came when I left El Salvador. So going to DC is like, it brings me so nice memories. And so I've been involved with CAR and NAR since 2016. And now I am in the board of directors for CAR, also for my local board. And I belong to different committees, so that I really, really cherish, you know, the experience that I have learned from them, and I share with my agents and my fellow realtors. So this has been a treat of a lifetime that especially seeing these ladies, like, you know, I see you guys everywhere with Claudia. We have shared rooms in Washington and San Diego and all of Luisa. So, and I have a big admiration for your mom also, Rosanna, because I feel like she's one of the pioneers in real estate. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, she is. She's pretty special. That's pretty much my story, my mom and my dad. So I tell people, if you were fortunate enough to know my mom, my dad was the same, but the male version. So pretty dynamic couple. So, okay, thank you for that, Vilma. So Luisa. The stalled mute. There you go.
Sorry. So I think I was set up as a leader naturally from my parents. They're both Mexican immigrants, and they met here in Los Angeles in the 1970s. They raised 5 girls on just my dad's income alone as a swap meet vendor. And my mom stayed home, and she was the one that took us to school, went to all the school meetings, took care of us, helped us with the homework. And it was seeing all of those struggles and knowing that being born and raised in LA or in California, in the US, that I had a lot of opportunities. And my dad was the one that kind of instilled in me, you know, you're the oldest of the kids, and you need to set the stage for them. You need to be the role model. And I didn't realize until years later that that was such a huge, those were very potent or important words that he spoke. It really, I took it seriously, and I, you know, became, you know, the first person to graduate from a 4-year university and, you know, get my degree. And so I feel like I was naturally, you know, taken into that leadership path. And I've always strived to take on the next level of whatever it is that I'm doing. If it's, you know, if it was at a corporate job, I always wanted to know what was my next, you know, goal to accomplish. And that's how I would, you know, figure out, oh, I need to get my real estate license. Oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. And so I'm very thankful that I've met a lot of great mentors along the way and have encouraged me into stepping into roles on boards like NAREP as well. I'm part of the San Gabriel Valley chapter. And I was fortunate enough that when I decided to take my, you know, to put my, I would call it my corporate dungeon to stop, you know, working as a, you know, W-2 employee, so to speak, that I was embraced into the San Gabriel Valley chapter at NAREP and was able to be on the board and help them out with, you know, growing that chapter. And it was the best experience for me, being in a community that wants to see you grow. And I think that's what, you know, I see in WomanUP as well, and why we continue to want to level up and learn and go to trainings and go to CAR and go to these leadership opportunities, because we want to be fully present and be able to help our communities out. We've seen the struggles that, you know, our families have had and our community in general, and we just want them to know that there is a way if they put in the work. And, you know, we're happy to be in those roles to be able to guide them. And I fell in love with real estate the minute that I was able to give a first-time home buyer their keys, and I've never looked back. I've always looked for that personal, you know, those are my favorite people, the ones that are really, you know, grateful for the journey, for being able to purchase. And the legacy that they're going to leave their kids to. What they're doing, what they're teaching them is also important, and we play a key role in all of that.
Thank you. Yeah. It's, you know, it's something to be said that leadership is also part of mentorship, you know, and so as you commented about your mother, you know, we always get that, like we hear that in Women's Council when they go, oh, you guys talk about leaders made here. And, you know, I don't want to be the president of CAR. I don't want to be the president of Women's Council. I go, yeah, but you are a leader within your family, within your community, within your school, whatever you're doing, your brokerage, there's always something where this translates, right? And that's like a perfect example of you talking about your mom, you know, raising 5 girls. It's like, she was leading. I mean, that's a huge responsibility you know, have to take on all by yourself. And so any kind of mentorship that you can get from others, any type of support as we offer here at the WomanUP community, all of that is so valuable in terms of propelling us forward and giving us opportunities. And then we get to show other people that, yeah, you can do this, right? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Claudia.
Wow. So my leadership journey, well, it started at home. My mom, she is pretty much, my mentor growing up. I was able to see the strength in her, the stamina, the drive, the ability of having a language barrier and still have that strength to go to work as well as my father, go to work every day, to put food, for the family. So to me, and I think for everyone, it does begin at home. These are the people that we admire. These are the people that set the table, the foundation for us to continue. And I am a big believer, if my parents crossed the border to come here to help and engage and try hard for their children to have that American dream, right? And take advantage I look at it and I say, wow, I am blessed. And I'm here to intake all the opportunity that America does bring to me. And to me, I feel and I believe it's a blessing. So I personally, in myself, I feel it's a responsibility that I hold, that I owe to them. But of course, I endure as I'm going through the process and as I'm going through my journey. As far as leadership in our community, as a young child, I would always see my professor, and my professor is Dr. Donna Grogan, and also another mentor is Steve Goddard. That was a huge mentor for myself, past president, CAR president, I think in 2010. I would see the bib of designations and, and wow, this is amazing, right? But I honestly felt that I was too young. I wasn't ready for that because I was still preparing myself, finding myself, and also helping others obtain their American dream. And one day I said, one day I would love to take the classes, be there and engage when I'm ready. And I think I instilled it in my journey. And I said, I'll do it one day. So I ended up, I continued to invest and help others along my way. So that's where your leadership is as well, because you guide them and you're able to tell your clients that there is hope, there is opportunity. As we know, right, the market shifts, but as long as we give them hope, your clients and let them know that there is light on the other side, and you stay with them, and they are also going to experience this beautiful sueño americano that we say. Through the time that I had my children, I did join the PTA. So I did a lot of, leadership also in our local, my children's school. And I had an amazing time. It was beautiful to also help and contribute to our community. Then when I came back to real estate, I didn't have my professor anymore that encouraged me. It was a little different because there were more chats, but through Women's Council, I found my professor. I found my Eva Garcia, who is an amazing woman and has such huge trayectoria. So she has such amazing legacy. So I was able to find that through Women's Council, through the sisterhood that we have, and just through the beautiful motivation classes and leadership trainings that we do receive through Women's Council. I found my stamina, my strength also through WomanUP. So it's beautiful when your heart is out to receive, you're able to resonate and to receive that light that other people around your industry give to yourself. So I am honored, now I was past president for my Women's Council local South Bay. I'm currently district vice president for California. As far as leadership, we're also, I'm incoming for my local board of directors, my local association. I'm in the diversity and also for communications advisory for CAR, and member and for investment housing. And I'm also doing with NAR, I'm serving as our global business and alliance committee. So there's so many pathways that we find through our leadership. And at the end of the day, it's just sharing that light and being a source of hope to your peers and to your community. So that is my journey at the time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. That was amazing. Yeah, we see a lot of common thread in our family life, and what motivated us and pushed us forward. So the next question for everyone is, so one of October's focuses in the WomanUP community is growth strategies. So do you have a special growth goal to help your business to finish strong this year? So let's start with Vilma.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I do. You know, when you are individual realtor, you have like a mindset to work by yourself, to be the best by yourself. When you take that hat off and you become a broker, it's not about you. It's about your team. It's about your agents, about your office. You know, what I learned attending all the seminars, WomanUP, CAI, and AR, it's not just for me, it's for my agents to share with. So many years ago when I became a broker, I got to tell you this little story is about how I got my license. I was working with I moved from this big company, and the reason I moved from that company is because I asked them to raise my commission, after 14 years, my split, and they didn't do it. So that was the push I needed to get my broker license. So then I went for a little while to a very small office, and that person had a broker record. And when I passed my license, my broker license, he said, well, now you're a broker, you can be the broker of record. And I said, sure. So, but he said, I will be in charge of the files. And I go, I don't think so. My license is going to be on the line, so I have to be in charge of the files. And then at the time, I had a team of 6 people with me. So I said, what do I do now? Do I join another office or do I open my own? So where do I go to find an office? So I said, well, my house is here, so I can work out of my house. So then a friend of mine and a lender said, you know what, Mama, I have an office that I don't use. So you're welcome to use my office, and I start from there. So that's how I started Bella Vista Estates in 2014. And then it's been like a challenge and trying to, I don't want to have a big office, but I want to have a quality office of the realtors that are under my license. That is not a number, but it's a quality of realtors, because they have become my friends, my family that I look for, and I share with them my information that I learned from all of the panelists. So that has been, and then I changed my mindset from a realtor to a broker. So now I have one of the things that I do in October, I go with my vision board. My vision board, I call it my goal board, to start planning for the next year. So that way, because they said, if you have goals, those goals have to have a due date. So it's not like you're going to set up a goal with indefinite date, because that will never happen if you don't have a certain dates. So when you have your goal, your board, your vision board, you have to set up your goals and you have to put an expiration date. So that's how I do in October in my business plan for myself. So I have been trying with my office to do that, because I feel like if we need to go somewhere, we need to have a roadmap to know where we're going. So in a business, we need to do the same thing. We need to have a business plan, goal settings, vision board, that we start in October. I start myself in October. So by the end of the year, I already have it ready. So by the beginning of next year, I know what I want to do. And so I invite everyone to, if you don't have it, to start getting into the habit of, doing your vision board.
That's awesome. Yeah, vision boards are great. I think that's a common thing. A lot of offices like to do that. And I know even one broker I know, they even have like a vision board creation like for clients too. Like they bring the clients to their office and they all kind of do it together. So that's also another way to engage your clients for referral business, right? So yeah, I love vision boards. I know my vision board's always here. What's the next thing that like you're working on? And for sure you have to set pathways, because you got to know which way you want to work. Thank you. Thank you, Vilma. So Felicia, how about you?
Sure. So when I first got started in the industry, I did what everybody does and builds a little business plan. And I'm like, In my first year, it would be great if I could sell 5 homes, right? Or whatever it was. And then I blew that out of the water, and probably, I think I sold like maybe 15 in my first year or something like that. And then that continued every year, right? I would make my business plan and then I would never look at it again. And somehow I would still achieve my numbers. I kind of lucked out in the beginning, right? But what I've learned over the years that works better for me is, instead of setting those goals around certain numbers, like, oh, I want to make this amount, I want to sell this amount of homes, this is the volume I want to hit. Instead of focusing on those numbers, which really to me doesn't mean anything, I don't feel anything when I think of those numbers. Now I focus my business more focusing on the activities that are going to get me there, right? So instead of saying, oh, I want to sell 40 homes this year, I'll say, I want to throw a party for my past clients every quarter. I want to make sure, like, now my new goal is I want to text every single client on their birthday. And so setting those goals of activities instead of focusing on the goals of the numbers really helps for me, because that's the things that are going to actually lead to that closed business, right? Those are the things that are going to lead to deeper relationships with my clients that will eventually result in referral business and repeat business. So that's what I've been working on, and that's how I'm going to try to do my goal setting for next year.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, that's actually what I do. You touch with past clients, whether it be text, email, or phone call, and just keep at the forefront, you know, let them know that you're there for whatever, right? I got a call this morning from Texas from a client that moved there, and he's like, I can't find my closing paperwork. Can you help me? And I emailed him and the title company, and he had it within 1 hour. And he's like, oh my God, bendiciones y gracias y quién sabe qué. Yeah, it's like they're so happy. But those are the things that he's going to call his friends and say, you got to call her, right? So yeah, very important, keeping in touch with your past clients. Claudia.
My goal is just to continue to give hope, to continue to innovate, and continue to learn on the changing market. As we know, the market fluctuates. We fluctuate with it. We've been there, done that. And even though we've been there, done that, every time it does, you know, go up and down, it's a different experience overall. But at the end of the day is to continue having that direct communication with your clients. As we all know, our goal is to have that referral business. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day where it was by referral only, where they had these conventions and conferences. That was the objective, by referral only. What does that mean? It's how do you get that referral? It's giving hope to your clients, darles esperanza, darles amor, be there for them. And it goes to the same way when we network. Sometimes we think we want to network with 50 people. If out of those 50 or 100, you only have three people that you can look at them in the eye. Hi, how are you? Shake their hand, probably have lunch. I mean, that's a winning. And as far as winning, it's just having that, it's the process of joy. Continue to, as you're going through your journey, even in selling. Sometimes we get so busy and so consumed in time and deadlines, and we have to do this, we have to do that. Just remember, just take a deep breath, enjoy your journey, endure the person, have joy of what it is that you are doing for that person. I think at the end of the day, it's what we take with us, because no money or nothing else compares, right, to that joy you feel in your heart for helping anyone and everyone accomplish their American dream. So it's just to continue to share the joy and the love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, love gets us a lot of places.
Yes.
Luisa, can you share one of your growth strategies?
Right now, I'm going through kind of like a rebirth in my business. I finalized the divorce earlier this year, and I am right now putting all my businesses together and putting the you can say the bones of it together to make sure that they all go hand in hand. So I have my real estate license, but I also have a life insurance broker license, which I am integrating into my business and creating another an actual insurance business as well, to make sure that my clients are not only purchasing their homes, but setting themselves up for that estate planning to be in place so that they can keep that legacy in their, in case of any emergency in any stage of their life. And so right now I am going through a rebrand and making sure that everything is gonna tie together, and I'm really getting my voice out there and letting my friends, family sphere, fellow agents know what I'm doing, and I'm doing collaborations, and we have a vision board set up for next month, an event set up for next month, hopefully on 11/11. And I'm really big on, having those goals written down, and I want to have the clarity as best as possible to see how I'm going to put all of this together, because this is a time I feel that things are going to really blow up. I mean, right now is a great time for us to be thinking about, next year. But especially for me going through this kind of revitalization, I want to know how I'm going to make a difference in my clients, how I'm going to be of service, how are my businesses going to be tied together so that they can be precisely that, being more philanthropic, being more, being able to give back. So it all has to go hand in hand. And I need to also balance my life as a mom. And I'm really excited for what is to come. And, that's, I think the key thing right now with our current market is to stay current and collaborate as much as you can. So real estate masterminds, even with other businesses as well. I mean, really collaborate a lot as much as you can. That's what I'm doing right now. Just making sure I'm connecting with my fellow agents and friends and saying, how are you doing? Want to go grab a coffee? You guys want to have, breakfast together? And that's really key. So we know how everybody else is making things happen.
Yep, that's for sure. I mean, I think that what we do as business people and as leaders, we're constantly engaging. And I think that is a great business strategy, because you want to make alliances, right? You want people, you want to get to know people, you want people to get to know you, and it naturally brings business. So yes, completely agree. And actually the next question was tied into kind of what most of you said, because the other focus in October is the 2023 business planning, right? Because as you have all mentioned, now is the time, last quarter, to get prepared for next year, which I can't even believe we're in October. I mean, already almost mid-October. It's just absolutely crazy. Felicia, as a youngster in the group, you'll see it goes, it's a blink, it's a blink, it's a blink. Because as you get into your transactions and you're going day by day by day, checklist by checklist, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, it's the end of the month already? And that's the way it goes. So put your seatbelt on, because yeah, it's a fast trajectory. So if there's not anything else, we heard from Vilma, she likes the vision board, and Felicia's talking about being involved in the community, touching bases with their clients too. If anything else that you are planning on your business planning, if you have any other resource or tip to level up your vision for the year ahead. If you can go ahead and share with us if there's something that you didn't state in the last in your last statement. Go ahead, Claudia.
Oh,
I saw you unmute right away, so you're ready.
Well, I think overall, just not be fearless, grab that faith that you have inside you, inside your heart, and just go for it. But definitely do have a calendar. That's one thing I learned with Women's Council, to have a calendar. And I will give you guys an advice for those of you, family, children. And that's what I learned also for Women's Council. They tell us first put obviously your children, all of their activities, and also do not forget to pay yourself as well, which means your vacations. So you have to work also around your vacations, because at the end of the day, we work really hard and we strive. And, going back to what our parents did for us, right? They came to this country to work hard and give us that American dream. So I tell people, endure that American dream, cherish it. And so to me, I think that's really, really important. Calendar, do your vacations, and just continue to, as we say, with our NARBRET family, it's that generational wealth that we try to build for our family. So continue to educate yourself, read books, and that's what I have to share with you guys at the time.
Thank you, Claudia. Vilma?
For me, it's like family. You have to keep in mind that in order for you to serve others, you need to take care of yourself. So yourself has to be a priority, your family, your spiritual life, they go hand in hand. So that way you're going to be emotionally, physically, you're going to be ready to serve and to help others. So that's one of my things. And also, I believe that, I think Felicia was talking about the appreciation, clients appreciation parties. I did my first client appreciation party on my 3rd year when I got in the real estate business. And until 32 years later, now I still have clients from that party, because those children are buying through me now, because it's an investment. It's back then I remember paying like $5,000-$6,000 for the party. And that was one of my things, just putting a nice party together for them. So those client appreciation parties is an investment for a lifetime that I recommend to every realtor to put some money aside from the beginning of the year and be ready the end of December to have that party. And then you don't have to, back on those days, title companies, escrow companies, they used to sponsor. Now title companies are very limited. They can't really sponsor that much, but the raffles. I remember having that party at in Van Nuys at his hotel, and we had raffles and open bar and sit down dinner. Those people were so impressed, and I was like, back then I was a young realtor, but so I really recommend to the realtors and the call and everyone to just start doing it. If you're not doing it, start doing those client appreciation parties, and just keep in touch with them. I send a magazine every month. Now it's every other month, but they when they get those magazines, they call you and they think, oh, it's your own magazine. Yeah, it is an investment, because each magazine is like $4.25, but it's not something they're going to throw in the trash. They're going to keep it. So so those marketing things have worked for me.
I'm happy that you're saying that, because we do the same thing. We've been doing a holiday party now for about 10 years. And I'm going to tell you, we try to change the holiday party to a summer party, and the clients weren't having it. They let us know, no, we like your Christmas party. Like, we don't want to do a summer party. Like, we want to do, and they RSVP quick. Yeah, they really look forward to it. And like you said, you still have people refer you, and it's an investment in your business, and it's fun, right? So we do the big giveaways. Pretty much everybody walks out with a gift. Kids are welcome too. We have the kids help us do the raffle. It's very, very good, and people really enjoy it. They really look forward to it. Well, we're going to go to the last question, because we got to wrap up. It's getting close to close. And so as we wrap up, if you could give us one final words of wisdom, and if you have a favorite book or a podcast that you love, or you're reading or listening to right now, and that you want to recommend to others in your life, and Vilma, you're here, so let us know, what's your tidbit of wisdom? Not that you haven't given it to us already, but
just give back to the community. Just give back. It's like, there's no end, like you can give back in different ways, I am on the advisory committee for the San Fernando Rescue Mission. And because of my involvement, my association is needing now certain amount, every year, that comes a long way. And so just give back to your community. This industry has given so much to me that it's only fair for me to give back. And it just don't think about the return, just try to get involved, help those people in the community, and and I do have a book, actually. It's by Deborah Trapp, and Fire Up. That is it's an excellent book. I have it, and I read it, and I do have some podcasts that I like to listen to. It's Oprah has a beautiful podcast that I really enjoy. But my thing is just give back to the community and do your business with passion, and you never look back.
That's right. Thank you, Vilma. I know 100%. And Eva Garcia is on this call, and she'll tell you that's what she taught us. My mom and dad taught us, you got to give back. And people always ask, why do you do what you do? Because I have to give back. Luisa, any words of wisdom?
Yes, the most important one is to make sure you are involved in WomanUP. To make sure you are following and that you have set the time to go to the conferences, because honestly, I don't think I would be here if it weren't for that first broker conference that was held in Pasadena. I was fired up after that event. It was amazing to see so many women in leadership, embracing each other, loving on each other, giving each other tips. It was something that I was not familiar with. We all need community, especially in these times. And I'm very grateful for that event because it changed my trajectory. I started to, realize that I was not meant to be sitting behind a desk 9 to 5, and that was not how my life was going to be lived. And now it's amazing to be able to be a part of this great community and share it with others and encourage them to, tune in. I love seeing everybody's leadership, different styles, qualities, and it is what inspires me and keeps me going and gives me that drive to continue moving on and on to, whatever is next for me. And I let God lead me there.
Awesome. So that's Luisa's tip is everybody show up to WomanUP. Thank you. Felicia.
Sure. I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't comment on the current state of the market, right? Most of us on this call are probably a little anxious, a little like, what the heck is going on? And if you're anything like me, the last few years have been totally chaotic and you've just been trying to keep up and give your clients really good service. And now that things have slowed a little bit, we can take a deep breath and we can be a little bit more intentional about the way we're going about our business. So instead of seeing this as doomsday, maybe trying to switch around your mind to think of it more of an opportunity to complete the things that you weren't able to focus on during the chaos of last year, right? So that's, updating your website, starting your magazine or your newsletter, or whatever you wanted to do all this time that you had zero time for. Now is the perfect time to get those habits in check and to build your business, right? So there's an opportunity right now. And if you're struggling with your mental health, I highly recommend speaking to a trained professional. I just started therapy over the last 6 months and it has been changing my mindset and worldview. So if you're struggling at all, please reach out to a friend, please seek assistance and try to be very aware of your mindset moving forward and see this new market as an opportunity and a reason to be grateful.
Awesome. Thank you, Felicia. Thanks for sharing. And all I have to say on my final words of wisdom is lead with your heart. Don't be afraid to take a risk on leadership. The best lessons in life are learned when we push ourselves out of our comfort zone. I'm not a big podcast person, but I do believe in continuing education and that it is a must to be relevant in an ever-changing world and an ever-changing real estate market. With that, I'd like to thank all our panelists, Sarah, and under construction Sarah, but but we got it handled. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing everybody soon in Long Beach. And if you're not going to be in Long Beach, we hope to see you soon. Don't forget, everybody, the Latino Professionals Network. That's something to join. And I know that they put it in the chat. And then also, as Sarah had mentioned earlier, we're going to have the All Voices Party, which is the YPN, the Latino Professionals Network, and one other one, WomanUP, right? We're all going to be there to party in Long Beach.
WomanUP, yeah.
Party.
Thank you, Rosanna. You ladies did an amazing job. I do want to give one quick minute for Claudia, because I think she wants to give one last words of wisdom, and then we'll close it out and roll into our weekend.
Yes, so I'd like to share the book that I recommend, from John C. Maxwell, is the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I want to let everyone know to continue to share your light, that shining light that you have in your heart, continue to share it. Another book that I read, and these are the 3 foundations that I live by, is the Bible: Successful Life, Happy Marriage, and a Successful Business. And also, you are never too young or too old to start your leadership journey and your leadership path. So it's an invitation to all of you. Welcome. We are here to help you, support, and to share the light with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Claudia. Thank you, Rosanna. You are an amazing moderator, and I appreciate all of you. Luisa, Vilma, Felicia, Claudia, all of you are so full of wisdom. So thank you for sharing that today. And we will see you next week, maybe in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Bye.
Adiós. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.